Welcome back to another Stranger Than Fiction book haul. I know I can't go too long without a book haul. And actually, as I'm recording this, I haven't even posted a book haul video recorded like a couple weeks ago. So I'm catching up. I'm just trying not to make every video I do, every other video, book haul, book haul, book haul. So I know that's what a lot of you guys want, but I got to mix it up a little bit. But anyway, I have some 2 boxes full to go with you here. I'm trying to remember where all these came from now. I'm going to kind of rediscover them as I go through them, but I know it's going to be a mix of some eBay lots, of course, some whatnot purchases, and I think 1 half-price books visit. So let's get it going. I got this Moorcock the Black Corridor UK edition. I got this from, I don't remember now. I think I got it off Whatnot. And I realized that I already had this one. So that's an extra. I thought I didn't. I thought I just had a US copy. But as I saw in my Moorcocks and You Can Handle show, that I already had it. So, whomp. But I did not have this one. Here's The End of All Songs, but I do have these in hardcover. But this is a UK paperback that I collect, so I'll eventually get all the UK Moorcock paperbacks, maybe. Still got a long ways to go, but there's one more towards that. This is The Dragon and the Sword. Again, these, I mean, it's even better to get Moorcock's clean UK, because that's where he's from. And I think it's where he was mostly published first. I don't want to say always, because there's probably some exceptions where he came out in the U.S. or published in the U.S. before that. But and here's The Condition of Muzak by Mr. Moorcock. This is a Fontana. Another one I did not have. I gotta go with the obligatory Dune. I think this came from half price for cheap. Pick them up, make sets out of them. I already have like a box set and a hardcover. And then I got these. Who are these from? It came off Whatnot, but it's Nightfall 1 and 2, Isaac Asimov, and these are UK copies. Pretty cool, matching. Now this one has a crease on the front cover, but it's alright. I think I've had Nightfall before and sold it. Now I'm like, I should probably keep that. I hear it's pretty good. So, got some more paperbacks. Yeah. This came from an eBay lot, and some reason this David Copperfield has a as an anthology, and I think it's like science fiction, horror, wonder, horror, and fantasy. So it's a David Copperfield, and this thing's new, but you know the cover's not doing any favors. It doesn't look like it'd be a science fiction anthology by any means, or maybe horror and fantasy. Another Rose Estes Troll Quest. I wasn't familiar with this one at first. This is pretty cool. Stardeep, The Dungeons, Forgotten Realms. This has a little value, I think. If I find Forgotten Realms books in nice condition or Dragonlance under, a few bucks or less, I always pick them up there. People want them. I, put together sets. I have some myself. I collect, so. Monster Hunter, I think I already had this one. This may be a condition upgrade. Larry Correia. I'm finishing up one of his book series right now, an audiobook. That'll be a review soon, and I've quite enjoyed him as a writer. Don't know anything about this. Mort Castle, Moon on the Water. Looks like a modern, didn't look like it is a modern book. Not an author I'm familiar with. Never seen it before. Alright, I got the Citadel of the Autarch Timescape by Gene Wolfe, another series I really need to read. It's not in the best condition. I got this from my friend Eos. That's who I got this from. Oh, you know what I got a lot of these from? There's this mother, daughter, granddaughter, even storage unit seller and Whatnot, and she just pulls up a bunch of stacks. She got a big storage unit full of books, and they're $1 each, and you just claim them. Or she runs it for $1. Yeah, she runs it for $1 each start. So a lot of these I picked up for $1. But these Spider-Man, really nice condition. These aren't for me. I'll probably lot them up or something, just to kind of help smooth my shipping out for the stuff I did want. Ed Gorman, The Dark Fantastic. I think this is a horror, maybe a horror thriller. Thriller horror, something like that. Another Monster Hunter. This is international. I think this is the first book of the series. Again, I'll have to see if my copy is nicer or that one's nicer. K.W. Jeter, Infernal Devices. I hear Jeter's pretty good. It's a mad Victorian fantasy, and this cover is just off the chain here. I hear he's kind of a wacky writer. Grabbed another Red Sonja, Star of Doom. I have these. I'll have to see if this is an upgrade or not. May not be. I got an Edward Lee Monstrosity. These kind of, I think he's kind of splatterpunk or extreme horror. I know my friend from Whatnot in Discord, Pambin, is a big fan of his. And so since I've heard good things, I've picked up some of his books when I see him for cheap. I got this from EOS for pretty cheap too. This is $21.50 by Thea Alexander. And I hear this was kind of like, she was like a cult leader type person or something strange. But the one with the little die cut, it has some value online. Pretty softer book, I guess, for the provenance of who the author is, or I don't know. I haven't seen any other books she's written. Let's see what else we got here. I got a Bath Evanor Ballantine Adult Fantasy. Look how awesome these are. Again, I only show these when I can. I already have this one. This may be an upgrade. This is quite a nice copy, so I may get to upgrade mine. Deathport, edited by Ramsey Campbell. This is looks like, is this an anthology? It is. It's a short story anthology with Campbell, Yarbrough. See the names I recognize. So far, Lawrence Watt Evans, I know. And there's maybe names you guys know. Those are just the ones I know. Chet Williamson is another. This is a little more modern. Seemed pretty cool. Embossed cover with a hand. I thought about keeping it, but decided to let it go. I got this Thunderscape, The World of Aiden. Looks kind of, it's SSI. So I think it's video game based. Pretty sure it is. I just thought it was cool. It was a buck. Elizabeth Massey, Shadow Dreams. I don't know anything about this. I think it was in a lot. Some of these books get mixed up, guys, from the sources, so I have a hard time remembering sometimes. There was Drawing Room, Charlotte McLeod. This looks like a maybe a mystery. I think it's like a kind of a dark mystery, but the cover is pretty cool. I think my wife might like that cover. Tanith Lee, Volkavar, number 251. And the cool thing about this, it is signed. So this will replace my current one, and I got this from my friend Joel and Malika, who I did the video, maybe this is a couple weeks before you see this. So this is a really awesome grab, and they gave it to me for a great deal. So a good buddy deal, as I like to call them. So I appreciate you guys for that, if you actually watch. Oh, apparently I got 2 Deathports, and I'm not sure. I think that lot had 2 of the same book. Or I think maybe I got it, one in the lot, and one came from that lady that was doing the dollar listings. I got Jack Ketchum, Off Season. I've heard good things about Ketchum. His stuff can also be pretty extreme horror. But this is a cool copy. Has some value too, but it's for me. The Infernal Device by Michael Kurland. This one's a little beat up. I think it's a, it's kind of like a mystery detective, like kind of, Holmes and, why can't I think of it? You know what I'm talking about. These World. Always when I'm here, I'm like, I sound like an idiot. But if I'm sitting there like seeing something else, I'm like, oh, it's that. It's that. How come you can't remember that? Now I know why. Yeah, your mind blocks. These World number 2 or 11 Uneasy Alliances. I have a box of extra Thieves World. I don't really have an interest in probably keeping these, so I'll lot them up, but I think that's one that would go to try to complete the set. Twisted Tales by Brandon Massey. Looks like a modern horror collection. Vengeance Fantastic, and this is one of the Fantastic series by Daw, where it's like Cat Fantastic, Wizard Fantasy, Vengeance. So it's probably like a kind of a horror. H.P. Lovecraft at the Mountains of Madness. This is a really cool cover from this Del Rey. Yeah, I've thought about keeping some of these, but I'm like, I have a Lovecraft like big collection, but this is a Michael Whelan. That's what I thought it was. I might have to keep the Whelan. We'll see. Tim Levin, Fears Unnamed. Don't know much about this. Lansdale, writer of The Purple Rage. This came in a lot. Lansdale's local-ish. I think he's from Houston or from East Texas. And some of the books he writes are kind of set in Texas and such. And he's pretty well regarded. He's kind of horror, mystery, thriller mix of some of his books. Some of them have some humor in them, I believe. So I do want to check him out. I have a few of his books now. That'll go on my shelf. I'll have to, if I like him, I'll collect even more. Another D&D, Forgotten Realms, Once Around the Realms. Again, just to add to my extra D&D stuff. Terminator Salvation. It's got a little bend in the back. Timothy Zahn. These are usually pretty collectible. The Repentant, edited by Brian M. Thompson and Martin H. Greenberg. Greenberg did a lot of science fiction anthologies as well. 13 original tales of werewolves, witches, the dead, and the undead. Let's see if there's any cool names in here. Jeff Grubb, Jody Lynn Nye. So that's a couple of D&D authors there. Gene Rabe, another one. James Loud. There's a lot of Dungeons and Dragons authors. Tanya Huff, Pian Elrod, Brian M. Thompson, and then there's Chelsea Quinn Yarborough, Dupree. So yeah, it's like if all the D&D writers came together and wrote a short story collection, horror collection. It's just very. I did not realize that. Pretty funny. This I'm keeping because of the cover. Look at that, and it's all embossed. So it's this weird looking piranha creature mouth thing, the Abyss. So it's probably a creature feature, 80s-esque. Garden of the Incubus by John Tigges. This one's a little rough, a little red, but definitely looks like a horror book there. I got Kachina, I don't know how to pronounce that, by Catherine, and then I don't know how to, Tasek. That sound like a fool. A Resident Evil I got from my friend Joel and Milica. And then when, actually I feel bad. I picked out, I don't feel bad, but I picked out some books to get from them, and they kind of hold them for me after time. And once we get, 4 or 5 or 6, then I'll pay them. They'll ship them just to, save on shipping and not ship each book. But my daughter really loves Resident Evil, and I bought this for her because I just bought her the first book new. And then apparently she's like, oh, Resident Evil. When she saw it on my desk, oh, I have that one already. And I'm like, what? Yeah, you got that one for me a long time ago. I just couldn't read it yet because I didn't have book 1. I'm like, oh. So, yeah. Bought an extra Resident Evil book of the 2, one she already had. Go figure. Horrible Beginnings. Another Greenberg's in it, but also Stephen H. Silver. I said that with an extra little noise to it. See if there's any... Frederick Pohl's in here. Henry Kuttner. So this looks like a collection of older authors. Ramsey Campbell, Tanith Lee's in here. Edward Bryant, F. Paul Wilson, Thomas F. Monteleone, Neil Gaiman, Poppy Z. Bright. I know her. I've never read her. Kathy Koja, Pian Elrod. So there's some names in here I'm familiar with. John Shirley's Black Butterflies. I collect Shirley. I hear he's pretty good. He has some mix of horror, some cyberpunk stuff. Haven't read him yet, but I've heard good things. And we're getting down to the end of the first box. And I have Ed Greenwood. This is Dragonfire Forgotten Realms, Myth Draenor book. Not one of his... Why can't I think of his name? I know the wizard guy. Elminster. William F. Nolan, Night Worlds. I've had this before. It's a horror book, dark fantasy horror, I think. Another one I got from Raxus, and I didn't realize, and I think I'd picked it up in the meantime. The Shaving of Shagpat, George Meredith, Bath, and then I'll have to check if it's maybe better than mine. It was a good deal, but I wouldn't have picked it up. Had I known, but then, actually I realized that I already got it when we were going to order it, and I was like, hey, if you guys want, keep it and sell it, I already had it, but I didn't want to say, I don't need that anymore because they've been saving it for me. It'd be kind of a dick move, sort of, so I didn't want to do that. So they're like, no, you can go ahead. So, all right, I kept it. And I'll just sell it and maybe hopefully make my money back. But I didn't want to have them hold it for me and then me bow out of it. I want to honor my claims, right? It's the right thing to do. Sentinel Spire, the Citadels, because they give me buddy deals and stuff. So I was like, hey, if you can sell it for more, outside of me, please do. I already have it now. All right. Oh, there's some cool stuff in here though from Joel here. They found this, and he asked me to show it my last Whatnot show, but it was in the other room. But Balticon 31. Now look, this is from Baltimore Science Fiction Convention. I don't even know if they still do conventions, but the artwork's on it's amazing. This is a really cool like program or whatever you want to call it that they give out. I assume they give it out. But yeah, it's an Omni Hotel in 1997 in Baltimore, Maryland. It's signed by Glenn Cook. So I guess he was one of the guests of honor. And if you guys know me, Glenn Cook was one of my favorite authors. So this was a no-brainer. He was at the store. He's like, dude, look what I found. He was messaging me in Discord. Like, while he was at the store, I was like, you want this? I'm like, how much? I think it was like somewhere, he'll remind me. I know it was $10 or less. Maybe it was $8, $6, something like that. And I was like, not even a question, right? And what's cool is there's a game called Tonk they play in the Black Company series. And I guess someone at some point made the rules of Tonk, and there's a part in here where they kind of show how to play it, which I thought was really interesting. And it's got a whole bunch of good stuff. I need to go through and read this, but this is a really cool, neat piece of the collection that you just can't like find anywhere, right? And signed by Glenn Cook. It was just like, oh, that's so awesome. So appreciate that, Joel and Malika. Ursula Le Guin, The Left-Handed Darkness. And I went to Second and Charles. My kids wanted to go. My daughter really wanted to go. Let's go to Second and Charles. And they used to get me excited to go to Second and Charles, but the last few times I've gone, it seems like they've stopped buying vintage science fiction. So I think they're also owned by Books A Million, and it feels like they're headed in that direction where it's just mostly new books. And that's really sad because when I found them like a year or so ago, or I say found, when I started going and getting some more books there, shopping there, I was finding some awesome old, vintage books. And again, I buy new books as well. And I was buying, a lot of my SF Masterworks collection from them. But for some reason, this is one I didn't have, and it was on the shelf. I have this in other forms, but now I have a third different version of Left-Handed Darkness just because I want to collect the SF Masterworks. We'll do some hardcovers here. I got a Sung in Blood by Glenn Cook. Oh yeah, another one I got from Roxas, and I already had it. But it's really nice. I think the one I have may be a different version. Different printing. I picked up this Astounding by Campbell. I think this is from a bookstore. I think it might have been half price. Edited by Harry Harrison. I don't know, I think I bought it from someone. I thought it was the one that has the art of the Queen, one of the Queen albums. Like that Iron Man art. But I think it's only on the paperback. Star Wars, the Corellian trilogy. I got this off Whatnot, I think, for really cheap. I think it's somewhat sought after. Pretty nice trilogy collection there by Roger McBride Allen. Ooh, I snuck a Blu-ray in here. Nemesis by Olivier Gruner. And I hear it's like a low-budget science fiction cyberpunk movie from the 90s. But I hear for the budget he had, they did really great. And I've seen good reviews. So it's been on my radar, and I think it went on sale on Amazon, or maybe I got it during Prime Days or something, but I picked it up for my movie watching collection. I got this Tanith Lee Red as Blood. And apparently I didn't Mylar because I must already have it. And I maybe didn't realize it, but I got this. Oh, I picked up, I didn't pick, this was Broken Binding, I think. Between Two Fires by Christopher Bielman. And I think I've met this author before. I didn't realize it, but I think he would go to a lot of the Renfest. He was like the, I don't remember his name there, but he was the insulter guy. He would like, make fun of people. And I was like, I know I've seen that guy once before. So now, I didn't know he wrote books, and I didn't know that was that person until someone told me. But I'd already heard good things about this, and the Black Tongue Thief or whatever. And so I've been wanting to check him out. Kind of, I hear those are kind of grimdarkish fantasy, which can be good, which I can like. Another Lansdale, The Drive-In. and the Drive-In 2. I actually had one of these signed, like maybe my third or fourth Amazon or Whatnot show I did. Whatnot was doing a like a sponsorship that if you put a giveaway valued up to like $30 or $50 or something and give it away, they would comp you in credits. And so I had assigned the Drive-In, which is probably a $40 to $60 book. And I gave it away. And then my brother-in-law, who likes drive-ins, and I think the cover had like this one, it was a signed one. And he was like, "Oh, I really want that." It's like, "Well, dude, I already had that. I already advertised it as the giveaway. I can't go take that off now." And so he was like, "Okay, we got to wait for him to get in." And once he got in, we ran the giveaway. And sure enough, of like 20-something people that were in the giveaway, he had less than 5% chance or 5% chance, and he won it. And we were kind of laughing. They're like, "Oh, rigged." No, but everyone always says rigged in the Whatnot giveaways. It's kind of a joke, but that was interesting. So he does have it. And since then, I'd given that away. I've heard, my friend Three Snakes and some others say Lansdale's a good author. And so when I saw those for a decent deal, I picked them up. Those are from Whatnot. Marilyn Ross, A Gathering of Evil. I think I picked this up in a lot. Looks like a Gothic. White Light by Rudy Rucker. I had this in like a trade, and now I have it in this paperback, so I'm going to keep this one. Cyberpunkish, I believe. And I've heard Rudy Rucker is also good. Again, all these authors I need to get to. Will I ever get around to them? I hope, but we'll see. The Best of Wilson Tucker Timescape. One I did not have. So I've been collecting these best of, so that's cool. Warrior Coup, Battletech. Got it because these old FASA Battletech novels are a little collectible. I have it already. I'll check to see if mine's better, or this one's better than mine. Brack the Barbarian versus Mark of the Demons. Again, I have these. I'll check them against mine. I did not have this Lee Brackett's, the Starman of Lyrdis. So, again, another author I hear is really good that I need to read. And here's another one of theirs. I hear an author's really good, and then I just try to buy all their books I find. I won this as a giveaway. And, was it Patrick's first show or second show? And it's not another 80s horror novel. So, it's kind of a satire spoof of 80s, paperbacks from hell books. And it's supposed to be kind of funny, and it's modern. I think it's even indie. It's an indie publish, or maybe even self-published book. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, my friend Wolf by Night, and his name's Christopher Scott, has a sequel to Sandcastle. So I buy all of his books that he's been writing, just to, at the minimum to support him. I hope, it's probably good. The Sands, remember, and he signs and, inscribes each of his books for those who buy and pre-order from him. So that's the third book I've gotten from him. Really cool. Thank you, Chris. Or Christopher, if you want to go by your legal name. I got this Hard Magic Larry Correa. It's like noir, dark fantasy kind of urban fantasy book. I didn't realize it when I bought it. It was this big trade, but I'll keep it. I don't have it. I don't think I have any of that series from him. And then I picked up this Jim Butcher Turncoat. Oh, I got it from that. This is from the $1 lady. And this will be one I sell. I was collecting these. Not all of them are in hardcover. I've listened to all the audiobooks, but it's a 20-book series, right? And so it's a lot of shelf space for something I've already read. And even though I love the Dresden Files, but when I can get their books for a couple bucks, so these in nice condition, I can sell them and recoup some of my costs and the stuff I do keep, which, I always explain. That's kind of how my method. Another Burning Chrome by Gibson. Oh, and here's the other Evanor. I got them so I think I claimed the one from Raxus and Melica, and then bought this, forgetting that I had claimed it, and then they both came. So it's what happens sometimes. I did not have this. I think there might be a second book. But here's the book of Fritz Leiber, number 87. One I'd want to collect anyway because I get all the Leibers I can, and it's a top 100 DAW, and a DAW I did not have. So very cool. Also grabbed Our Lady of Darkness. This one's a little beat up, but this book is a little collectible. It's one of his horror outings, I believe. I always grab his Fafhrd books when I find them. Swords of Lankmar. City of Illusions by Le Guin. I have this in other formats. The Evil People, edited by Peter Haining, a horror collection. One that's going to go on my shelves. It looks really cool. Another doll I did not have, 134, The Moat in Time's Eye. This one's a little more harder to find, I think. I don't see this one very often. And look, it's an amazing cover art. So another doll for the doll collection. This is this came from eBay, eBay seller that I try to buy a few books at a time from because he'll combine shipping for me. This is a signed David C. Smith, The Witch of the Indies. Kind of, he writes a lot of barbarian, sword and sorcery kind of stuff. This seems more pirate. It's based on the characters created by Robert E. Howard, Black Volmia. And then I also got this one, which I already have, but I think this is a different, this is a cooler edition, I believe, so I'll replace mine. The Witch of the Mist by David C. Smith. I did get it because I thought it was signed too. It was the same price, and it's not. And it didn't say it was signed, but maybe I assumed since that one was signed, it's like, ooh, all these signed ones. I think he might have had two signed David C. Smiths. One already had sold when I was looking at them. And then I grabbed these two quickly because I didn't want those to sell because I wanted them. And then totally not realizing I wouldn't have. It's a long way to say is had I known it wasn't signed, I wouldn't have bought it. But now that I have it, I'll upgrade my other one. Cut to the chase. Here's another Brack the Barbarian. These are UK versions, but they have a little damage. I bought them for my friend Ron, Sci-Fi PBs during a show. And when I got them, I was like, you know what? I'd rather just keep my US ones that are cleaner instead of keeping the somewhat damaged ones. They're good deals, so can't complain. But I'll probably just pass them along. Here is a fairly... Oh, you know what? This came from... Some of these came from my friend D Her Books. She's got a Designs by Delia or something. These are eBay. If I'm not, I can remember that, but I can't remember Elminster earlier. Anyway, this is Where Were You Last Pluterday by Paul Van Herk, doll number 51. She found a local former collector. Maybe they passed away and the family was selling his collection, and she just had an amazing haul of boxes and boxes of books. She posted a lot of them on the Discord, and many of us bought books from her, and so that was one of the ones I picked up. I got this Martian Chronicles by Bradbury. This is for my wife. She collects all the Bradburys and all the versions of them. So this is, we call them the face Bradbury, or the head Bradburys. And this Bantam lineup. There's several that kind of had the similar, and she definitely collects those. This is kind of messed up. My tape came off. But here is a Salem's Lot by King. And for some reason I bagged this, but I already have Salem's Lot in hardcover. I think this is for my daughter. But then I think she might have been like, I already have it. And I think both these are supposed to be for her. No, maybe my wife's going to keep them since my daughter already has them. That's right. And a nice old paperback of The Shining, which I think my wife's going to take. So, not to waste. Adam Corby, The Former King. I think I also got this from my friend D. This is a Timescape. Just looked cool. One I didn't have. So that's going in my collection. PKD, Penultimate Truth. I don't remember where I got it. But if you can get PKDs for cheap, you pick them up. Oh, yes. Okay, this is probably one of my new paperback bangers. It's not super expensive, but I finally have a copy of Who Goes There. I got this from my friend Igor, and he ran it for like 40 or 50 bucks, and no one bid on it with me. So now I have a Who Goes There. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. So really awesome. Very happy about this one. Maybe this will be my thumbnail or something. Me excited about my Who Goes There. But yes, very cool. I do have a book club hardcover copy of The Thing, but not of the, you know, I wonder if I guess the text wouldn't be the same because The Thing is Alan Dean Foster, right? So this is the origin. So we'll see. Definitely keeping both regardless. Strange Evil by Jane Gaskell. I've had this before. It's got this amazing Boris cover on it. I I thought I was going to keep it, but I think I'm going to sell it. I just got to make choices. I bought it to keep, though, but at the 7th level, a doll, number 10. Another one I don't see too often. I think I got this from D. Another one to my collection. This is by Suzette Hayden Elgin. Or Elgin. Gordon Eklund, The Eclipse of Dawn, an Ace Science Fiction special I did not have. So, happy to get this. I collect these. Only missing maybe 10-ish of them from the 3 different runs. Utopia 3 by George Alec Effinger. The original title, Death in Florence. It's like some book about paradise, maybe some dystopian. I guess it's not dystopian. Some kind of maybe paradise. I haven't read Effinger, but I have some of his books. I've heard good things. I don't sound like a broken record with that. And speaking of Mr. Effinger, here's another one, Relatives. Don't know much about this. The cover is pretty trippy. 70s, late 60s, early 70s looking cover. I got this UK Bob Shaw Shadow of Heaven I did not have. Or I might have the US version and I'll replace it with this because I think this one's cooler. This art is amazing. Look at that. The Day Before Tomorrow by Gerard Klein, number 11. Picking up a lot of dolls for the doll shelf. And we're in the last row of this box in this video. So thank you guys for sticking with me. Hopefully you've had fun looking at all these. I've been showing some books that I know I've never had before. So I hope you enjoy that. Here is Ambrose Bierce, which I've heard he's kind of I think isn't he a UK author that I've heard really good things about. And Volume 1, The World of Horror. So it's my first Bierce, I hope I'm saying his name right, Ambrose Bierce book. That'll go on my shelf. I don't know how I'm going to fit all these on my shelf, to be honest. I'm looking at all these in bags, and I'm like, my shelves are pretty full. This is going to be tough. Yeah. I might have to make some tough choices. M.L. Carter, The Curse of the Undead, Classic Tales of Vampires and the Victims. Another one I meant to get for me, and then, you know, I just like, maybe I'm not going to keep it. But it's really cool. Maybe my wife will probably want it. Another doll for the doll shelf. This is Carter Presents Year's Best Fantasy 6. And these are kind of collectible. Doll number 410. Another Bath by Lynn Carter, Dragons, Elves, and Heroes. Do you already have it? I think this one's not as nice as mine. Robert Bloch, Midnight Pleasures. Block I did not have. Actually, I don't have a lot of blocks, but this is cool, embossed. I picked these up just because they're cheap and I felt like they could be collectible. Could lot them up. Barnabas Collins books, and they're really nice shaped, so I grabbed them. Paperback Library, I think they're like $1 or $2. Don't know much about them. I'm not going to keep them. Lloyd Biggle, The World Menders. I've had this book before, but it was really beat up, so I didn't keep it. But this is doll number 15, and I got at least 5 or 6 top 100 dolls out of this, so it makes me pretty happy. Oh, and then the Dark Shadows Book of Vampires and Werewolves. Yeah, these are the Dark Shadows books. So, kind of, I think that goes with the Barnabas Collins. I know the UK. I think they're UK. I don't know much about them. I'm sure some of my viewers or watchers do. All right. Aaaand, The Valley of Aughrim. David C. Smith. This one's not signed, but I did not have this one. I got it from that same eBay guy. Here's a really cool copy of Frankenstein. This little short dell by Mary Shelley, of course. The Best of John Sladek. I already have this, but I'll have to see. Can't remember if I have the hardcover or if I have the paperback. If I have the paperback, I'll see if this one's nicer. I'll get this from my friend Igor. This is Eclipse Corona. I had the other 2 Eclipse books, but not this one, so now I've completed the trilogy. Thank you, Igor. This came from D. John Shirley I didn't have. 3-Ring Circus. You know, it's like 3-Ring Circus. Get it? You get it? A little bit of wordplay there. A little bit of a pun. Out of the Deeps by Mr. John Wyndham. Must already have it. I do collect Wyndhams. Like this one, A Sense of Wonder. It's really cool. UK NEL, New English Library. Very awesome cover. The Franken-Science Monster. Yeah, this came from like a horror eBay lot I found. Some of these I'm keeping, so this one I decided to sell. Yeah, Tales of Terror and Suspense by Stuart H. Benedict. Really cool. You can look at the names if you want to pause the screen. One I'm keeping. Oh yeah, I think this is why I bought the lot. Night Ride and Other Journeys by Charles Beaumont. Look at the cover. I've been wanting more Beaumonts. The cover is amazing. And it was in that lot. And so I was like, you know what? I can get that. The lot was decently priced. And I can sell the rest and basically get a couple books I keep for free. A Dream of Dracula in Search of the Living Dead by Leonard Woolf. And 2 more books. I got this cool Dracula. If this was in a little nicer shape, I'd keep it. But this Dracula Dell. Bram Stoker, of course. And the last book. And I already have it, but I got to see if it's better. The Tales of Horror and the Supernatural by Arthur Machen, which I've heard good things about. So I want to check him out sometimes. And I think these are all his own stories. Yeah, he's not the editor. This is a collection of his own short stories. Pretty sure I may have even shown it on a show before, but that'll do it. Pretty good haul, I think. I hope. Let me know what you guys think. Is there any books in there you haven't seen or you think was really awesome? I think the highlight for me, it's got to be the signed Tanith Lee and the Who Goes There. Man, I've had these in the box for maybe like a month and a half now, waiting for. I'm still trying to catch up again on my haul videos. And I pulled that Who Goes There out, and I got excited about it again because I totally forgot it was in there. I didn't totally forget. It just kind of slipped my mind. But now I get to find a cool spot on the shelf for it. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. This is probably going to post maybe right before I go to Pulp Fest. So I will be going to Pulp Fest at the end of July. I'm recording this in mid-July. So maybe you'll see it right before I go, right as I'm out. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a really nice haul from there that I'll show. And I may try to take some footage of, I'm road tripping in. I may take some footage of stopping at some bookstores along the way and some of the journey and then my Pulp Fest adventures and then afterwards what I got. So I'm super excited about that. It's only about, I guess I'm leaving in about 2 weeks from now exactly. So pretty exciting. Thanks all. Have a good one.